In today's world, I think as a whole, I think we live in a pretty good world. However, I am not ignorant to there are some people in this world who don't look like me, who don't sound like me, who don't act like me, have to deal with a whole lot of crap. And with that, we have a world now that is wanting to, well, I think Crystal, you put it very well when we were talking a little while back, of embracing their villain era. And we're seeing a world now that is embracing the villains of pop culture more than the heroes. Back in the day, we had bright blue and red superheroes like Superman and Captain America fighting for what's right, and those are the characters that people gravitated towards. Those are the characters that kids gravitated towards. Today's world is a little different. I remember back in the 90s, we had a long reign of anti-establishment characters. The Punishers came into big fandom. We had the Ghost Riders. We had, in the wrestling world, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin. We had all these anti-establishment characters, and now we've kind of driven into a world of embracing that villain era, and we're wanting to support some morally gray characters. You have characters like Harley Quinn that are huge in the cosplay world. I remember back in the day, and probably 2015, 13, 14, I remember going to Fan Expo and going, how many Harley Quinn cosplayers am I going to see in this weekend? And it was usually the number one by a long shot. And there's a reason, because Harley is a pretty strong, independent character who has had a lot of trauma in her backstory and is now usually written as a strong, independent woman. You've got characters like Thanos, who were very popular during the Endgame run, because there were some people who were not really sure which way, if he was right or not. Should he have snapped half of the population away? I don't think so, but I know some people have some argument for that. Characters like Homelander, who is all around just a jerk. All around, he is a jerk Superman. These are all characters that have a very conflicted moral compass. And you see a lot of these characters cosplayed all the time. People name their children Thanos, said Boomster Joe. Oh, really? Really? Bad choice. Deadpool. Geekpool says, yeah, Deadpool, another character, is a hero. Twisted logic, but is a hero. But true, there are these, the audience is growing more towards these more complex characters who they've had many things happen in their lives. They've had trauma, they've had issues in the world, and it very relatable to the average person who has gone through their own trauma, possibly, who are dealing with a lot of fear on their own. And even in not just a literal sense of picking characters that have a moral compass that might not be straight, you've got a world where fear has become a very dominant factor in the world. A lot of people are scared of going out today, scared of many different things. And cosplay is a way to conquer your fears. I've said it on the podcast before. I grew up lots of anxiety, lots of fear. There was a very short time in my life. I shouldn't say short time, because that kind of lowers what it was. There was probably a month in my life where I couldn't leave the house. I was so anxious and so scared of going outside. And it took a lot of pushing and a lot of, determination to get past that. But I did. And when I started cosplaying, the first cosplay I chose was Luigi, and then the second one I really wanted to do was Green Lantern. And it wasn't till I finished Green Lantern that I was kind of like, oh, these are both characters that fight fear. Huh, interesting. And then I started looking at different characters that I've been cosplaying until now. I haven't really cosplayed a villain. I've usually cosplayed a hero. The only villain that I've really cosplayed is J. Jonah Jameson, and even him, he's scared to death of some things. He's not just, a jerk. He's a jerk for being a jerk, but he believes he's right. That's not just him, being Darth Vader and just killing because he feels like doing it. He's doing it because he believes he's right. So the world is now a little more gray, and we've embraced some of these villain characters a little more than we would have in the past.